Hey guys, and welcome back to BK's Bullets. Today we're talking the Dark Phoenix trailer, the last X-Men movie for the foreseeable future. Hey everybody, and welcome back to BK's Bullets. As always, I'm your host, Brent, and today we're talking the first look at the Dark Phoenix that we've ever seen, the Dark Phoenix trailer. So I know there's been some other comic book stuff, casting and stuff like that, but I typically wait to comment on what I think about it officially until the first trailer comes out. So we finally got the first trailer for X-Men Dark Phoenix. The movie was originally supposed to drop this fall in 2018, and then it got pushed back along with New Mutants into spring 2019. I think this thing comes out in March. But this is the continuation of the First Class cast. James McAvoy and not Ian McKellen. Michael Fassbender as Magneto, Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique. This is the fourth movie of that cast. You had First Class, Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, and now Dark Phoenix. So you have Sophie Turner, who was introduced in Apocalypse. You know her from Game of Thrones as Sansa. She is playing Phoenix in this movie, and by looks of the first trailer, they're not doing anything to do with the Shi'ar at first look. It could be there. Jessica Chastain is playing a white-haired villain. We don't know if she's a Shi'ar or anything like that. We just know she has white hair and she's talking to Jean. Is she the White Queen? We don't know, but that would be weird because we already had the White Queen in the X-Men First Class movie. So from the comic books, Phoenix is this extraterrestrial entity that infects Jean Grey, changes her powers, and almost makes her like God, but all the time that she's like using her powers, she's on fire and in like a bird motif and things like that. This movie seems to be doing the same thing, unfortunately, that X-Men The Last Stand did, which was turn Phoenix into some like super repressed version of Jean Grey's psyche that broke a long time ago, and instead of being an alien entity, it's this weird version of Jean Grey that broke and manifests itself as like an alternate dark personality, at least from first look at this trailer. So that, I think, is really unfortunate. I was hoping that they were going to go with the alien stuff and make it really interesting, but I don't think it's going to be anything close to the classic Phoenix storyline. They probably are doing more of like the Hellfire Club. Maybe that's in here, even though I think that was in First Class as well. So I don't know what they're doing. It's not clear by this trailer. It's the first trailer. It's not really meant to be clear in that manner anyway. But the bad part is I don't get a feeling of any adherence to the classic storylines the way old stuff has been in these X-Men movies. So that is unfortunate. What is good about the trailer, though, is that the X-Men finally have some costumes. What's weird, though, is that at the end of Apocalypse, if you remember, the final shot of that movie was this new cast of X-Men, a new Cyclops, a new Nightcrawler, the new Beast, Mystique, Jean Grey, all were in these outfits. Storm is in this movie, or it was in Apocalypse as well. They all had a unique-looking X-Men outfit, and they were all varied. This movie takes place in the 90s, and we're not going to even get into the timeline. This movie takes one look at those costumes and throws them out the window, and instead goes with kind of the new X-Men Grant Morrison motif and Frank Quitely thing of just a giant yellow X across all of their costumes, which is kind of similar to what they did in First Class when they finally got suited up there. So I don't really know why they ditched the old stuff. I thought the old ones kind of looked okay, but so that's that. So they look super clean. The rest of the movie looks good. Everybody is back to play for more, which is good. This one is directed by Simon Kinberg, not Bryan Singer. Bryan Singer had, I guess, left the X-Men franchise again to go do Bohemian Rhapsody, and instead of doing this film, Simon Kinberg, who has been the producer on the X-Men films for like the longest time, almost from the very beginning, and written, I think, a lot of them or most of them, something like that. Has had a hand in writing a few of them. He's actually stepping into the director's chair for the first time. So it is kind of being handed off to a shepherd of the franchise, as you will. So it's not a stranger coming in and messing it up, a la X-Men The Last Stand, X3, with Brett Ratner. Simon Kinberg has been around a long time in the world of geekdom and X-Men, so He should know what he's doing, but I don't understand why it doesn't look like we're getting the extraterrestrial version of the Phoenix that we all want, need, and deserve. So, who knows what we'll see in the next trailer. We will check in back then. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time in the Funny Pages.